When wealth eclipsed the will of the people, we were left with no other option but to occupy. When they confiscated our mics, we became our mics. When they hit us with violence, we hit record. When they tried to define us,
they don't know what they're protesting. They're brainless, they're brainwashed.
And they're acting like crazy people.
We defied definition. When they came for our power, we became our demands. When they feared our message would continue to spread, they came for our homes in the dead of the night. They thought they could contain an idea whose time had come, but the promise of democracy for the 99% can't be crushed by nightsticks. We had no other choice but to take our message out of the park. So we took our grievances and released them on canvas. They could use violence to smash our communities, but the more they crack down, the more we will adapt and come back stronger. The so-called representatives who hide behind corporate money as they desecrate the planet, the middle class, and our democracy could continue to deprive us of our democratic right to self-governance, only if we failed to expose them. So we decided to resist by using every means possible to communicate. If everything went as planned, just before millions of Americans hit the highways for work, 99 individual banners would hang on highway overpasses, each listing one of 99 distinct reasons to get money out of politics.
Basically, this first one, which is easy, then the bridge, which is hard, and then the walkway, which is easy. Just in the idea that, the bridge is high profile.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get in and get out fast enough,
Yeah.
Right here? Yeah. Okay.
Rebellion politics, the opposite of what you know is politics. When corporate capital makes the government break their promise. It's a new day where people create the policy. The economy trickles up to eradicate the poverty. So get up, stand up, these are our demands. What we want our money back, so politicians get your hands up. Equal distribution of the land and the profits.
The biggest standard crop in U.S. history!
I'm fighting and citing the clash of the titans. The premises fighting my nemesis, fighting, exciting the right wing with media hype. But Chucky was right, don't believe the hype. Receiving the issues, leading the fistles with Steven intent to say he's seeking missiles. Visible agent, they packing the pistols, subliminal goals. Deal your souls for global control, corporations.
What you're watching is video from September 14th, the day that various mob groups along the East Coast hung banners from D.C. all the way to Albany.
Occupy activists are claiming to have carried out the largest series of banner drops in U.S. history under the slogan of "Get money out of politics."
The idea of MOP is to take big money out of politics. These subgroups developed out of each city's Occupy faction.
99 banners were dropped along roadways from Albany, New York to Washington, D.C. on Friday, listing 99 individual reasons in support of campaign finance reform. The banners were hung at locations in 5 states, including the Capitol, the George Washington Bridge, the McCombs Dam Bridge, and the Delaware Memorial Bridge.
Check it out, y'all. Check it out, y'all. To the beach, y'all. To the beach, y'all. Never see, y'all. Never see.
We're in this diaspora, and we're having to be smart about how do we get our message out now that we don't have this one central place. We all realized we weren't alone. And oh my goodness, I'm not the only person that cares about this, and it's like this big relief. And then you form these communities in all these different cities, and those relationships don't disappear with the eviction of the park. So it's just about waiting for the next moment, or the next idea, or the next person that has some big project that you can latch onto.
We do things like this banner drop, like we do things like using social media and creating videos that go viral on YouTube and just really get this message out there.
What excites me about these recent efforts is that they show other possibilities for large-scale outlets for that civil disobedience that we feel, but that we're no longer expressing in the streets and in the parks.
There are people everywhere that are feeling the same way, and I think that's What the Occupy movement brought out is that, you know, all these people that were living in parks across the nation, they were feeling these things, and it really was able to connect them.
Well, I mean, the crisis isn't. The crises are certainly not over. The economic crisis, the foreclosure crisis, the environmental crisis, the political crisis.
And now that we're not living together in these spaces, we need to find new ways to connect. And those mediums are out there, and we can use them if we so choose, because there's so many issues that need to be solved.
Use America as a canvas. Use this nation, our landscapes, fences, sides of roads, bridges.
And at a grassroots level, our message can stand strong against the corporate billboards, the big donor-funded lawn signs, to advertise the real issues of our time.
I think the powerful thing about this is that it's such an easy action in a way, right? We're sort of going out and projecting this message, and once you have the know-how, you can do these things. You can, like, the light brigades are an amazing example of that. The LED letters that people are holding up, because anyone can buy LED letters, and yet the images that are shared from the light brigade are viral, and they're always in the large papers. They're changing opinion.
I mean, like with any movement that's a real threat to the system, the system is going to react, and so you have to invent new ways to respond to that. There's about 20 overpass light brigades throughout the country, and we're just the most recent one. I think one of our responses has been to match this repression with creativity. And I think there's kind of an old formula, which is that, one person with a sign is probably worth 10 people without a sign. One person with a costume is probably worth 10 people with a sign. And then, you roll up in a truck with a projector and a bunch of lit up signs. I don't know, that's worth like thousands of people. And so we're finding all these creative ways to get our message out that really works around many of the limitations that we're being forced to deal with.
99% isn't within like a 100-meter radius around Zuccotti Park for us, right? And so the great thing about this is it's a transportable mechanism, right?
Sky's the limit. If we can, using social media and all of modern technology's tools to communicate, and those tools are there at our fingertips like they've never been before.
We can communicate on this massive, massive scale. We can communicate globally.
Imagine the impact if only a fraction of the energy that went into the occupations could be directed at more efforts like this one.
And how do we make sure that we're reaching as many people as we can reach? Because the problem hasn't been solved, and people are so hungry for a way to jump in and participate and help solve the problems together as a community.
The movement to empower the 99% is only dead to the extent that we let ourselves be defined by the squares we occupied. A new form of mass resistance is rising up out of the Occupy diaspora, and like our will for change, these signs of spring know no boundaries. Now we are out of the parks. The time has come for us to do what we do best. It is time for us to occupy the message. Mic check!
Oh, well, I'm just putting together this huge banner drop. We're going to be dropping 99 banners. Each one's going to say, get big money out of politics for a different reason. So it's going to be 99 reasons to occupy democracy. One thing you need to know is that we're not talking about the date on email, and we're not talking about the locations on email, and the same thing goes for phone.
Get some buzz going. This is to get some media to start discussing some of this stuff.
Do we need to come down? Come down. Bring the corporate down?